Good morning and welcome to Practice Hangouts on Air. I'm Jerry Grant and Sheila Strover's with us, and we're welcoming you to come join us and learn more about Hangouts on Air. If you're interested in joining us and being invited in, let us know. You can put that in the comments section. If you go up and click the little, move your mouse to the top corner, top your left, that way. There's a little blue button. If you click that, that opens up comments, and we can talk over there. And there's some links over there, so if you need to share the link, they're there. One of the things I'd like to do to get started with is to show where the buttons are. This is kind of key to all the usage of this. And Sheila will jump in at times and point out some extra tips. She's very knowledgeable. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a button that's a share the screen button. And with any luck, we'll be seeing my screen on air. And we'll just go here. And it does this kind of repeating screen. For some reason, Google has this glitch where it does that. Someday the people at Google will figure out how to fix that, I hope, since I'm using their browser and their software. But if you take your mouse and you bring it into your screen, you will find some buttons. There's a row at the top where you can invite people. You can mute your microphone. This is very, very valuable because when you do this, you can, cough or make a little noise or take a phone call even if you want. There's a camera one that turns off the camera. There's an adjust your bandwidth. Sometimes you'll find that things are slowing down. I usually get away with my bandwidth right on the medium level where it is. That seems good. There's a red button which will hang up and make you leave the call, so don't click that. And then there's a settings button, which if you have problems with your microphone, you can select different microphones in your computer. So that. On your left is a comment button. This blue button here turns the comments on and off. This is the screen share button. That one's the one that launches the. You can have question and answer. You can take a photo. You can play around with the camera here. This is a very interesting button. There's an app, and it has all these different settings that you can play with here on the right. Kind of take your time sometime and play with that. Below it is the toolbox. This is a very important button. One of the things you can do with the toolbox is select this little face here, and it opens up a tool called lower thirds. When you watch the news, the lower thirds is the text at the bottom that tells what the picture is all about. So if I select mine, my picture, when we come back to it, will have my company name underneath it and my name. Below it, there's a Where Am I? This is a handy little app that you can put in here, and it gives you links as to where we are. And that's really good to have. See if it goes there. Taking a moment. But one of the things you can do with the Where Am I is it has some links that you can copy. So if you need to get back, or if you get lost, or somebody needs to find where you are, you can share those links with them on the right. You see those over here. So the Hangout we're in is the first one. The shortened one's the next one. The URL will be the third one down when we're done. And the last one's just a shortened version of that. And again, you see how the toolbar kind of comes in and out. There's a control room. This is handy because when people are in here, you can control their microphone. You can control the volume, so how they hear you. And it's very handy. If you have a lot of people and you're getting a lot of noise from somebody's background or dog barking, you can actually take and click the little mute button and mute them. And then there's effects. This is a lot of fun. You can play with these. This is like, you can have backgrounds, and you can put on hats and mustaches and things like that with the effects. That's something you can just kind of play with. You can see over here we have headwear, eyewear, facial hair, props, and sounds. And all kinds of fun stuff. Well, now it's time to go to the next button, and that is Comment Tracker. We're not using this today, but this is a good one if you want to have people be able to comment and share the comments. And Sheila's very good with this. And then we'll go back to here and click the screen share button. And it should go back to where we were. And here I am. And as you can see, I now have my lower thirds down here. You can put a logo in this, and you can make custom lower thirds too if you wish, when you want to. So those are the basic buttons. Sheila, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the things to do?
I just wanted to talk about how you invite somebody in and how somebody knows that they're invited in.
Yeah, that'd be excellent. I think this is a good time to do that and see if anybody wants to join us.
Do you want me to go through that?
Yes, please. I'm going to pin you.
Okay.
You're pinned.
One of the confusions for newbies coming in is that there are various ways to be invited in, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. And I find myself one of the ways that I'm sometimes invited in throws me completely, which is when my mobile phone rings. So I'm just going to go through a few with you. I'll first of all screen share. And you will see I am screen sharing, is that right? Yes. You will see at the top left this little button that Jerry mentioned earlier, which is the Invite Me button. And if you click, if you know the names of the people you want to invite, you click that, and it opens a dialog box, which it's not doing now because Jerry is running the show, not me. But if you click that, you can type in the Google Plus name of the person you want to invite, and they will get some kind of a notification. So the notification can come either from them hearing, like a telephone ringing, or they might have their system set to silent and not actually hear it, but they will be able to find the notification in one or other way. So I'm going to show you by screen sharing again that in the top right-hand corner, sorry, I've got a frog. Top right-hand corner, there's this little icon that you may see your invitation there with a little. I'm going to have to mute and have a good cough for a minute. That represents the camera, and that means that I'm in a video call. But sometimes you get a green message saying you're invited to a video call, and by clicking you jump straight in. So that's the one thing to look at, is the little green apostrophe icon. Let me come out of that. The other way that you may be invited is via your notification bell, which is on your Google Plus page. So if I jump over to my Google Plus page, out of the Hangout, sorry, I'm jumping back and forth a little bit here, to this bell here on the right, that's called the notification bell. And sometimes your invitation can be in that notification bell. So have a look there. And the other important place to look for the invitation is to go to the host's profile page. And sometimes you will see a button there that asks you to join the Hangout. So if you know who's running the Hangout, then that's a third way to do it. Now, the the way I like to invite people is a little different, because I think those are all quite astonishing if your phone suddenly starts ringing and you're not sure what to do. But Jerry showed you the thing called the Where Am I app. And in the Where Am I app, you can actually copy to your clipboard the link to invite somebody in. And then once you know who it is that you're inviting, you can just send them that link, either in an email or in a Hangout chat, or any other way that you're used to communicating. So that avoids the ringing bell and the other rather alarming things. So that's all I wanted to say, Jerry. So I'm handing back to you. Did you notice, Jerry?
That's excellent.
Did you notice that
Let's see.
I don't always get that visual echo, that kaleidoscope?
It's funny because I seem to get
What I think I've noticed is that if somebody else shares first, then I don't get it. And that's something I'd like to test with you. We can't test now, but usually I get it if I test before somebody else, if I share before somebody else has shared. So, and my Chromebook has always given me it, whatever I've tried to do. I've tried everybody else's fixes and I've never been able to do it. But if somebody shares first, it seems to fix it. Very curious.
Well, that's funny. So if I share and then you don't have it happen.
We can try that in a separate Hangout and see if that works.
Okay.
Now, I see that Roland Lawrence has come into your event page. Hello, Roland. And he says, does anyone know where I can go to find out how to use the YouTube app? Isn't it supposed to be that I can share and show you a YouTube video in a handout? Now, I'm not all too certain what he means there with his question, but there is a change in the YouTube, which I explained to you, Jerry, some time ago. They've hidden the creative part of YouTube in a place where it wasn't before. And I'll just quickly open YouTube and I'll show you that, Roland.
And while you're doing that, let me talk a little bit about YouTube. If you use Hangouts on Air, it needs to be connected to your YouTube account. So the first time you do the Hangouts on Air, it will ask you if you want to connect. And if you don't have an account with YouTube already, it will create one. Or what I did is I actually created a separate one from my main YouTube one, so I have an additional channel, and that's where these end up, so they're not mixed in with all my other YouTubes. So it's pretty simple and it's pretty intuitive when you do it. You just walk right through it. So YouTube needs to be connected.
Okay, I'll screen share again. I'll go to my YouTube page. Now I've logged in, so this is the same login as I've logged in for Google+. And there's my photo in the right-hand corner. And if you click it, underneath is this little area that says Create a Studio. That's the important part to go to. It used to be, it didn't have this name, but it's now called Create a Studio. And to the left now is your video manager. And that's where you can manage your channel, manage your playlists, create a new live event, and all sorts of things to do with YouTube. So I hope that's answered your question. I'll come back out again. Did I get the visual echo that time? I didn't
it looked
notice.
good.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure if Roland wants to come in, so let me ask him once more.
And while Sheila's doing that, let's talk a little bit about when you're doing this, light is very important and sound is very important. So I actually have not the best lighting in the world, but I have the window open to one side, I have a light on the other, and I have some other lights in the room that are on. And there is also an enhance button that pops up sometimes, and you can adjust your lighting. Again, when you roll over your screen, you get all those nice buttons. Over on the right up here, there's one that says enhance. I have mine on warm. Here's spotlight, just to see the different looks. A little brighter if you need more light, or you can focus, or you can even be black and white. Oh, this is very retro and fun. I don't know if I want to be black and white. Or original is what it looks like this way. I kind of like the warm because with the light in my room, it needs a little softening. And then you need to decide what's behind you. I have a blank wall. Some people put the names of their company. A well-arranged bookshelf's kind of fun, but just remember, people can see what's behind you. So be cautious with what kind of pictures you're showing there. So, and that warning goes with the screen share too. When you jump over to a different screen, just be aware that it's going to be shown to everybody. So, and this is being recorded. So that's another statement that you need to think of. Go ahead, Sheila.
I'm just wondering, Jerry, if you want to have a short event today, if nobody comes in, or whether you're just happy to carry on
I
working
think
together.
we can just finish it up with it. Maybe any other tips we can think of, and have it kind of short. That's good enough, and it'll be something people can watch.
Well, I think it's always useful to be able to show people how to put on your lower third, so maybe one can just go through that again.
Okay. You want to do it because you're not getting the echo, and I got the echo when I did it.
Sure.
And I'm going to turn mine off.
Okay. The lower third, the thing that you see here with our names on, comes from within this little red toolbox called the Hangout toolbox, which you click once, and then it opens a dialog box to the right. And you don't need to worry about the stuff at the bottom, just at the top. There's a little silhouette, a person in a silhouette, and you click that, and that allows you to toggle your lower third on and off. You can't see mine because I'm sharing, but you just have your name on the first line there, and you toggle that on or off, and you can change the color of it, which I just leave it the default color, and that puts your name down in the bottom of the film strip, as you can see here.
Okay, and then
So
I'm going to ask Sheila.
I do have some custom ones.
I
I'll
was
just
just
show
going to
you.
ask you to share those.
The custom ones you create yourself, and there are plenty of instructions online as to how to do it. And you turn off the main one, and you can go and choose one of your custom ones down in the right. And I'll have to switch back again for you to be able to see it. So that's one that I did for a Cornish event, which are birds called Cornish chuffs. If you can just blue box me.
You're
Well, I'm
pinned.
talking anyway, so it's probably big.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to do with it, which I really like, and I haven't told you, Jerry, is that periodically I'm wanting to explain some medical slides to somebody. And I've made some of them without a transparent background. These are actually full size to your monitor, to your size of your Hangout film, but you don't need to have a transparent background. You can have an opaque background. So if I just show you that, I'll screen share again. And I'll choose the one called Runners, which is just, I have actually paid for it as a stock image. And it's a whole slide. So you could have a slide like that said, the anatomy of the knee or whatever you're dealing with, or search engine tips or something like that. So you can very easily change from one to the other. So I have a little one there that's to do with knee anatomy. It's not good resolution because it was nothing. I was just messing around with it. But what I really liked, and I've taken it off, I'll get back to my original one now. What I really liked was a little, like a white box to the left of your face. And if you just imagine a white box to the left of my face, then you open the Draw app. So you're going to see this on my wall instead of, I'll make it red. And I've put it in a funny place. In my case, everything's to do with knees. So you could have it there. Can you see? If that was a white background just there, I've ended up with them plastered everywhere. I'm not sure why. Stay there now. And then I'll see if I can make a purple one that says something different. I always seem to get an echo somewhere else, so you can see some on my face, but that's something to do with me not knowing the app. But if those were on a white background, it would look as if there was a blackboard or a whiteboard behind me. Can you see what I mean?
Yes, it looks excellent.
It needs some playing around with because the app is not very intuitive. And in fact, I have to go and throw all those away. There we go. All gone.
But that's handy to be able to do that.
There's potential to that. And I think there will come in time a variation, a better looking, or something that's more intuitive to use. But I was playing around with that as well, because in knee stuff, in medical stuff, if I had a little whiteboard to the side of my face, if I wanted to spell a word, I could just quickly type it out. So it keeps producing thigh bones everywhere. Let me switch it off. You see, it's a bit tricky. Don't just unwhitebox me now.
Okay.
So I can get rid of it. I can't get it to come off.
We're not seeing it for some reason.
Okay.
So just to kind of recap what we've learned, there's the buttons, and you can kind of explore those. And if you can't find them, they come back. One of the things we forgot to mention, on the buttons on the left at the very bottom is 3 dots. That takes you to more stuff. So you can just kind of add apps from there. So if you want to find an app, and I'm going to do a quick screen share to show that because it's a very important button. On the left, if you go, here my echo happens again, but if I go to the left and I go all the way to the bottom, this comes up and I can add apps. So if I click that button, it gives me all kinds of apps to play around with. There's a whole bunch of things in here to play with and look at. Sound things. Kind of just explore this area is what I'd say, and look for the different apps that can go with this. Because there's a lot of potential, and as Sheila was showing you, with the toolbar where you go over there and you can share, and she put that full screen on, that would be an option to have like your opening shot. So in news stories and videos, there's an intro. That could be your intro, and you could just have like a placeholder there, so when the thing launches, it's basically maybe a name of the show or what you're talking about, and then you can remove it, put your lower third on, and a lot of people in the news will add lower thirds and remove lower thirds. You don't have to have them there all the time. You can just put them in when somebody's talking, take it back out. So there's a lot of potential here. It's something I encourage all of you to go explore. And one of the things, people sometimes get nervous doing this. There's 2 ways to practice. One is just start one and just invite only yourself, and you can go in there and play. Or just find one good friend, and in my case, Sheila actually has helped me quite a bit over the last month, and just play with it, and it's kind of okay, you know. And if it records it to a video, you can always go to your YouTube channel and delete the video if you don't want it. But it's very helpful to record it and then go see how it actually records, because it records differently than what you're seeing right now. It kind of surprises me sometimes that I go look at it and it comes out so much better, because one of the things that we're not in right now, I'm actually what's called PIN. Sheila's calling it blue box because it used to have a blue box around it, now it's white. Is I'm the one talking, but if I take that off and I unpin myself and Sheila says something, Sheila, say something, please.
Something.
And you'll see that she appears. So it's voice activated by who's talking, which is a nice way to do it, because you'll find that that way the picture's showing is what's going on. And again, we don't need the lower thirds all the time, but we can add things like she was saying. You can have a lot of effects. And back to watch the news is a good way to learn some of this stuff, because one of the things that the news does is they'll move the picture to the side and then have the text like she was doing off to one side. So you can always move your camera. And camera position is important. Try and keep it kind of straight at you, not down low, because if it's down low, everybody's looking up at your face. And lighting and microphone. And I guess I would just say thank you for joining us. And
I've got a quick question here from Roland just before you sign off.
Okay, good.
You've got, first of all, Cynthia Be Unique is in the audience, so you can say hello to her. And Roland wants to know if you can work on all this without being in a Hangout? I think what he means is, can you work on this without being in a recorded Hangout or with other people? And the answer, Roland, is yes. Can I quickly show him how?
Yes, let's do that, because that's kind of what I was trying to say is that's the place to go practice. It's not.
Okay,
It's not
I'm going to
recorded.
screen share, and I'm going to show him how to do it.
And I would say while she's getting there, once you get comfortable, do record one even with just yourself, because you'll see, or with a friend, because you'll see kind of some differences on how screen shares work and who's being shown. And when you pin somebody, it's really important to unpin them or they're going to be in the whole show. I've made that mistake already.
Okay, what I've done, I've just opened a new Google Plus page, and I'm on my home button. You can be on any button, it doesn't matter. On the right-hand side is this little thing for the text chat. If you click it, it opens a list of all the people you've spoken to. And in fact, earlier I sent Roland the link to come in, which you may find there. But if you just do a new Hangout and you put your own details in there, so I'm going to put in my Gmail address and pick myself, it opens a little dialog box to myself, all right? And that's what you would do. You would put your own name there. And then if you go, can you see, Jerry, to the little video that I'm pointing to here on the corner of the text chat? If you click that, it will open a Hangout. And I'm not going to do it because it won't let me be in two Hangouts at the same time. But if you do that, Roland, you are actually in a Hangout with yourself. And you're not in a recorded Hangout. It's not saved. You're not in any kind of danger. Nobody can jump in. And when you finish, you just come in and you press the red telephone and you get out. Or switch your computer off. It doesn't really matter. But pressing the red telephone is the usual way to get out. So that's a nice, safe way just to be able to go in there and have a look at all the buttons. Just let me see if there's any more questions before we go, Jerry.
Well, I thought maybe since you were showing that, I would show how to schedule a Hangout as an event. If I can do that.
You can, with pleasure, but if he's not been in a Hangout at all, that might be a bit alarming. But you can do that as well, yes.
Okay, real quickly, if you do want to schedule an event with somebody, and I'll go to screen share, let's see if I can do this without getting all the echo and stuff. Okay, so I'm now in this. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a little counterintuitive. You go to, if you want to schedule Hangouts in an event, you do not go to Events. You go to Hangouts. And so I'm clicking Hangouts. And this is a good place to go see other Hangouts. You can go there and find out what other people are doing and learn about it. We have all kinds of lists right here that you can just jump right into. But you go to this blue Start a Hangout. And you click that.
You haven't got me white boxed, have you?
No.
No, good.
No. Thank you for asking that. So I click the blue Start a Hangout button. And that's where you will set that up. We're getting a little time loading. Here it comes.
The blue one is a recorded Hangout, huh?
Yes. So
the green one is a non-recorded Hangout.
So I get rid of these. I leave it public because I want it to be available, but I get rid of my other ones to start with because I like to invite people after I've got it set up. So if I go to here, I grab the name of the Hangout, Alt-Tab back, put the name in, Alt-Tab, and then basically Control-A, Control-C, back, and put the text in here. And now I have the whole thing ready to go, but I want it later. I don't want to start it now. So this is where it becomes an event. If I click here, the 29th is going to be the next Hangout if you want to join us. It's going to be at 10:30 a.m. And this is in my time zone when you're doing these things. You got your duration. Now what's obviously missing here, or maybe not so obvious, is there's no image. But if I post it and it goes up, I can go back and edit it and add an image. So I go up, edit event, and I don't like their standard pictures, I suggest you create a picture that will change the theme. And one of the great places to get images, if you're not so good with images, is a site called Canva, C-A-N-V-A. And it has a lot of templates for these. And then I go to upload. See if we get there. Yes. I want to do.
So what you're offering here is an alternative thing. The quick and simple way that I was suggesting is just for somebody to have a play around. And this is actually creating a more sophisticated play around, but you could also just invite yourself. You don't need to invite anybody else.
Yes, and you can do all these steps and just start it and invite yourself and record it, because I find when I watch these afterwards, it's very helpful for me. I see things that I didn't see. And now we have a Hangout on Air. It's ready to go. And when you come back and you want to start it, you'll click that start button. I'm not going to do that now. And come back to here.
And only the person who sets it up will see the start button.
Let's see, where's my buttons? There they are. A little slow here. And we should be coming back. So it's been good hanging out. I suggest you go ahead and try it.
Are you trying to get out of screen share?
Yeah, I'm clicking it.
It seems to have a problem lately. A few people don't seem to be able to get out of it.
It's doing something.
There you go. Yeah. Now I have a black screen.
Did it go out?
If you white box, just white box me and I'll come to the top.
Is that
there you are. You're there now. Yes, white box yourself. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a lag, I think. It's some kind of a lag.
Yeah, there's a little lag going on with mine, and one of the things that happens sometimes is the video will go away and the picture gets replaced. That's usually a bandwidth issue. I'm hooked into a Cat 5 and pretty high bandwidth, but as Sheila pointed out to me in the past, part of it is my upload because I'm the host, which is typically slower with internet connections than your download. So, well, it's been a good Tuesday, and I thank everybody for showing up. And you will be able to watch this as a recorded video. If you come back to that same page you were on, you just click the video and it will play again. And you can go through it all again. And I've got you pinned, Sheila, so you can say goodbye.
Okay, and that only takes a few minutes and it's done completely automatically. So if you do set one up yourself, it doesn't take very long. Okay, cheerio. Bye, Roland. Bye,
all right.
Synth.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good Tuesday.